So first of all, I'd like to thank you everyone for having us here. And yeah, today we're going to tell you a little bit about the STACKIT Kubernetes Engine. And first of all, I want to introduce myself. So my name is Dustin Schmidt. I'm 24 years old. I work for like 6 years now in the Schwarz IT. And I'm currently the product owner of the STACKIT Kubernetes Engine. And yeah, so let's go to the next slide, and I will tell you some words about the Schwarz Group itself. So maybe some of you might already heard that the Schwarz Group is currently developing a cloud platform, and therefore we have yeah. So first, the Schwarz Group itself contains LIDL, Kaufland, PreZero, and the Schwarz production systems, and yeah, our goal is to achieve a cloud platform where we have like yeah, our underlying ES layer running on OpenStack. So we want to provide VM, storage, network, stuff like that. We have a PaaS layer where we want to provide some services like a database, for example, MongoDB. We have other messaging tools like the RabbitMQ, and also a Cloud Foundry running, and of course the Kubernetes engine itself. So we have we want to achieve a cloud platform for the Schwarz internal market. So we have our own customer, of course, and of course we want to yeah, like sell the stuff on the external market. So our needs and challenges are to adapt Gardener to our own network setup, where we have two different use cases, as I already mentioned. We want to provide a cloud platform for the external market for our customer 0, and we have our customer 1, which means the Schwarz IT private network itself. So yeah, like I already said, we have OpenStack running beneath the Gardener as our ES layer. So of course we wanted to have a product which adapts to the ES layer itself. Our needs were also to have it highly scalable. Of course, when we start to get on the external market, we don't know how many customers we will have, but we need to have the possibility to have it highly scalable, of course. Also, we wanted a fully automated operational technology. So when we started to think about, okay, what we need for the Kubernetes service itself is like a self-healing technology, and we found that within the Gardener. And of course, we wanted to provide a self-service. So as I remember it from the past, you had like to order a virtual machine by writing a ticket, sending it to the server team, and it took like weeks to get a virtual machine up and running. And yeah, that should be the past. So everything needs to be in the self-service. And last but not least, we wanted also to have a wonderful user experience, which we got with the built-in Gardener dashboard itself. So on the right side, you can see my team, our team, which contains Manuel, Max, Matt, Rafael, Alex. Timo also joined in the year 2020, and our Scrum Master, Tobias. And yeah, it was kind of nostalgic to have a look at those pictures, because I really miss the office when I see it. So we started in the beginning of 2020 there, and we had like no whiteboards within our room. So we started to write on the windows and started to brainstorm there. And yeah, like I said, of course, because of the nostalgic feeling, we had to share our Nerf gun collection. And yeah, so we started with the first thoughts of how we can provide a Kubernetes service and what it includes. So our first approach was to figure out if we want to have an all-in-one or a splitted control plane approach. So the all-in-one means you have masters, workers running in the customer responsibility, and the splitted control plane approach was like, okay, we don't want to give our customers the possibility to destroy his own cluster. So we had a look on different tools like Rancher, Kubernetes, Kubler, for example. But then my colleagues told me, okay, they were at the KubeCon 2019 and they drove with the taxi and there were a few colleagues from SAP side who told them about the Gardener. So this was our first contact with the Gardener crew itself. And yeah, therefore we came to the idea, okay, let's have a look on this tool. So during the COVID situation, we had a cool online workshop where we had a presentation about the Gardener itself. And for me, it was kind of confusing to see, okay, I have shoots, I have seeds, I have the Gardener itself. And I'm not that deep into the technical stuff. As I said, I'm just the product owner. So it was kind of crazy to have our first session where we set up the Gardener on GCP. And it was like a mob programming session where everyone of the team was watching at my screen and I had to set it up on GCP and everyone was telling me something different to have a look at this configuration or write that one here. And I was like, okay, guys, calm down, please. But at the end of the day, we managed it to have it up and running. And it was cool to see how it works to create a cluster, how you can easily access the kubeconfig through the Gardener dashboard itself. And yeah, so we started and yeah, first of all, we were sure that we have to increase our Kubernetes knowledge itself. And after that, we became more and more familiar with the Gardener concept and how it extends itself using Kubernetes concepts in a natural way. So it was really cool. And then, of course, we started to have a look at the Gardener code base to figure out how we can develop it to our specific needs of the OpenStack ES layer and the other challenges we have. So yeah, I would just give you a few points which we already contributed. So our biggest changes to the Gardener itself. And the first thing was we configured Gardener for our Cinder CSI driver to set a maximum amount of volumes per node because we have the volume limit on OpenStack side. And of course, the scheduler itself needs the limit too, because otherwise it would schedule pods on nodes where no volumes are available, which leads to errors, of course. The next cool thing was to add the possibility to set Helm values for the extensions in the Garden setup. So we use it, for example, to set the image vector override to use our own image registry. And another thing we did was to configure the domains of the shoot API server because there is a maximum of characters within the X509 certificate, which led to an error that the web terminal wasn't working. And yeah, so for STACKIT internal itself, we also changed the Gardener dashboard a little bit and used the STACKIT colors to yeah, give our customers a better feeling of, okay, everything looks like Timo's background right now. Yeah, and yeah, to give you a small outlook on the future changes we want to achieve are, of course, we want to upstream our IPv6 dual stack support for Gardener itself, because we need that for our IPv6 network zone. Another thing is we have a look on Schwarz Group edge cases. So we have a lot of stores, warehouses, and everyone is going crazy and everyone needs Kubernetes right now. So we thought about, okay, let's have a look on how Gardener itself works on the VMware layer. And maybe we could use that for the edge cases, of course, but this will be something for 2021. And yeah, another thing, like I said, is to extend Gardener for non-public networks, so for private networks running on OpenStack. And for the future, we want to give our customers the possibility to easily deploy apps on their clusters. So maybe it's something like the Potter Hub, or in our first thoughts, we thought about okay, let's call it DLCs or add-ons or whatever. So yeah, it was a really great journey through 2020, and it was really interesting to work in a completely remote world. So because before that we yeah, had like one day in the week where we were in home office, and so otherwise we were just in the office. So we had to find ourselves, but we managed to did that, and it was awesome to see how much things we did within the year. And yeah, so I'm happy to say that we managed to make it up and running. The STACKIT Kubernetes engine is available in the beta right now for our customer zero use case, so for the external market. And Timo mentioned it at the beginning of the meeting. Now is our goal to approach the customer one, so the Schwarz internal private network use case. And yeah, this will be our milestone for Q1 next year. And yeah, now I would just head over to Timo, which will give you, who will give you a small presentation for the STACKIT portal. And yeah, thank you everyone for listening.
Again, hello from my side to everyone, all the former colleagues also. So my name is Timo Lakner. I'm working since a little bit over a year now in the Schwarz IT as a solution architect, and working with Dustin and team on the Kubernetes SKE topic. So after Dustin told you about the story, evolution and the challenges and what were the goals, let's have a look live on where we have today with STACKIT. So I call now the central page. This is the STACKIT portal, and as I'm disconnected from our internal network, I have to log on. So SSO is then disabled. And as I'm, yeah, I have to log on again against this guy. And as I'm external of our network, I also have to do a two-factor authentication. So just a sec. Accept. So and now I should be logged on. What you see here is, so to say, the customer account page of the STACKIT cloud, where you see an overview on your projects, where you also see, I can switch to English just a second. So we can also see information on the customer account itself, so who's owning the account, and also payment information. And all this is currently under heavy development, so in future this will be extended by usage information and billing information. You also can do user management. This is also right now ongoing, so to say, to add here additional capabilities and roles. And you have here then your projects, and you can create a new project. Clicking here, give it a project name. Then we have integrated here a way how to reference cost centers. So I can type in here the name and then select the right cost center. And then, as Dustin has told, so we support web projects which are visible in the internet, and internal projects which are then in a private network. Kubernetes right now is available here. So this internal project stuff, this is currently ongoing, and I think in Q1 this will also be supported. So I can create now here the project. Takes a few seconds. I can dig into it. So now we're in the project view of this Gardener demo project, and you see here first some services regarding the infrastructure layer. So for instance, I can order here a VM, and give it a name, select an operating system, and select then the machine type. So here, these are the machine types which we also offer in Kubernetes as worker nodes. So you can select here the worker node, so to say, and then create your virtual machine. You can also specify here SSH keys and so on. You can do the same with volumes and then attach the volumes to the VMs. We also have here a service marketplace. So right now we have mainly some open source database services included here. And we're also using here the open service broker API. So you will be familiar with this also from the SAP Cloud, for instance. You select the plans and then give it a name, provide a JSON for the initialization parameters, and can create services. Okay, then we have the Cloud Foundry stuff, as Dustin has also mentioned. So you can create here an org, select a plan, a quota plan, and select spaces or add spaces which you like to create. And then, so to say, newly since two weeks roughly, we have here the Kubernetes stuff. So here we started with a lightweight integration with API and reusing the Gartner dashboard. So I can click here now this create button. This calls the Gartner API to create a project underneath. So project creation, this will be a functionality which is completely transparent for the end user. So when we reach the Gartner dashboard or SKE dashboard in a moment, you will not be able, or the user will not be able to create new projects. Yeah? So you find yourself in a project and then can start creating clusters there. Until this is done, so you can also create your security groups. So for your ingress traffic of the VMs, and you have some member management and role management stuff and quotas. So this is the scope that we have right now. So now the project is there. So if I go now to the dashboard, we currently launched, so to say, the customized Gartner dashboard, where we adopted some colors so that it fits to the STACKIT style guide, changed some logos. I can now log on. So this is partly SSO. Just have to do some clicks. And then I get into the dashboard that you know, so the, so to say, open source Gartner dashboard, customized a little bit. So we took out some of the functionality. So for instance, so the possibility to create secrets for your infrastructure, this is not there. When you look here at the projects, the create project is now not possible. Right now we provide here a cryptic name. So this is something which is already in progress, that we provide here the same name like we use in the portal project. But then, of course, you can create your clusters. So compared to what you know from the regular Gartner dashboard, so we took out the selection of the infrastructures, as we currently do only support OpenStack, but maybe this might change in the future. Let's see, because this is a very interesting and very good capability where I think we can also make benefit out of it. Then, okay, on the infrastructure section, you're not able to select here the secret. So this is injected, so to say, now for your OpenStack project that was created also under the hood. Then the worker section, this is the standard one. So here we provide now all those machine types that you saw before in the virtual machine section. Right now we support Flatcar as operating system. Yeah. And you can create additional worker groups and then do the regular stuff for the maintenance and also for the hibernation.
Can I drive, Timo, can we do a taxi ride again, and I can invite you to our Garden Linux project?
Yes, we saw this already, and we also find this super interesting. So we'll definitely look into this.
Perfect.
So let's quickly go maybe to one project I prepared up front. So I go again into the dashboard. So here I created already 2 clusters. So one is an evaluation cluster I created yesterday, I think, and I connected to it. So you see here, it's indeed this cluster. So of course you can connect to it and see then some content. So as said, I'm outside of our company network, so it's in the internet. So I installed Kube apps just to show something, right? And if I create here port forwarding to my local host 8080 port, then I can also launch this Kube apps application. Localhost 8080, and inject here the token. So then we are at the Kube apps application. It's connected to the Bitnami, and you could now, for instance, start deploying your workload like a harbor. If you like to have an image registry, and yeah, so this should work as expected, so to say. Yeah, so this was the small demo that we have prepared. So it's, let's say, a rudimentary cloud with an infrastructure with a Kubernetes layer, which we of course like to extend because we believe this is the future of the cloud. We also have a Cloud Foundry for those fans, and the services layer for growing set of services. Good. So with this, I think we have also a few minutes time for questions or discussions.
Timo, this is Holger speaking. Hi.
Hi, Holger.
Was it your user token you just copied, or is it a service account token?
A service account.
Ah, okay. Because I just wanted to mention that you can copy your user token from the dashboard without console, yeah, on your accounts page or inside the dashboard. If you go to your account on the upper right.
Okay. So
my account. Then you can copy your token here on.
Here. Okay. Yeah. Good. Exactly. Good. Good. Any questions or comments or points you like to raise?
So Timo, this is a great progress. I think. Thank you for demonstrating, also from the Gartner team. Hey, when is customer 2? That means me with my credit card going to be allowed on your? I think you're especially having also focus on a sovereign data center. Rollout. I mean, when is that going to happen? And when can we essentially? I mean, we're going to have another workshop on that topic anyhow. But when can we, with the SAP Gartner offering, extend to the STACKIT data center?
Yeah. So as mentioned, so our first focus now in Q1 is also to get a, let's say, somehow controlled ramp up, focusing on the internal use cases, getting there productive. Sometime, so the date is not yet clear, but 2021, we will also go, so to say, GA, and then you can also sign up as external, and it's not yet discussed, but there might also be something like a trial at some point of time, where you can then get a budget or so this.
I think I have a trial account. Is that already available for me?
You signed up, right? And I think our PM colleague provided you, so you can try, because you indeed got a account, so you can try it out.
Yeah, I've tried out.
Yeah. So you're one of our friendly customers, I guess.
Exactly. So our PM says right now, okay, it's so closed beta, and it's for, so to say, the friendly customers who also let's say regret if not everything works 100% stable and
no issues. Great.
Good. So I think we're also looking forward to further collaboration with the Gartner community, and I mean there are further ideas, right? What we can do. Maybe also trying out some kind of federation between Gartner-based clouds. This is really promising, I think, also for your broader customer base from SAP side, to make use of services from SAP on a Gartner layer. So from that side, if there are no further questions, I think we are done.
Very good. Thanks so much.